Taiki is a third-year high school student and a member of the badminton team. Every morning, Taiki trains with Chinatsu, a first-year basketball player he deeply admires. By a twist of fate, Chinatsu ends up living in Taiki's house, and Taiki is deeply in love with her. We see Taiki running through the streets at dawn, thinking about the one person he wants to meet every morning. He finally arrives at the gym, only to be greeted by a basketball hitting him square in the face. The girl who threw it, Chinatsu, rushes over to check if he's okay, apologizing as she hands him a chocolate bar. Taiki, slightly dazed, happily accepts. AMA High School, where they study, is a private school known for its sports teams. Taiki is a member of the badminton team, and morning training is optional. He always tries to be the first to the gym, but Chinatsu, a member of the girls' basketball team, always beats him there. After a few days of training together, Taiki realizes that he likes Chinatsu. During practice in the afternoon, he daydreams about marrying her, imagining her making breakfast for him. His friend Kyo, noticing his faraway look, bursts his bubble with a teasing remark, asking why he's talking like that. Taiki admits that he'd love to wake up to Chinatsu's face every morning. Kyo, ever practical, reminds him that he can't even date her. He goes on to point out that Chinatsu is the rising star of her team, with both talent and a personality that's sure to make her famous. Kyo adds that Taiki, on the other hand, is just a regular member of the badminton team, not even well known at school, and because of his skill level, he has to practice with middle schoolers. You're on different levels, man. Those morning chats are the only real contact you have with her, Kyo tells him. Taiki understands but feels he has to at least try. Kyo advises him to start small, make sure she knows his name, and then ask for her contact information. A girl named Hina interrupts their conversation, startling Kyo. Annoyed, he scolds her for sneaking up on them and jokes that she looks like she's still in elementary school. Hina, not missing a beat, retorts that she's the same age as them, and reminds him she's grown 7 centimeters this summer. Kyo dismisses this, commenting that she's still barely over 150 centimeters tall. After their playful banter, Taiki subtly asks Hina what girls like. Hina, picking up on his intentions, eagerly gives him advice. He should look confident and relaxed, and most importantly, he should work on his appearance. Taiki's friends are a bit freaked out by her intense enthusiasm. As Taiki walks away, he realizes that asking Hina for advice was a mistake, as her tastes are too specific. He spots Chinatsu sitting by the gym door, engrossed in a playbook. Taiki knows this is his chance to take the next step, but he hesitates, unsure how to start the conversation. Suddenly, Chinatsu sneezes softly, and without thinking, Taiki offers her his scarf, along with his thermos of hot tea, gloves, and even a pocket heater. He shows her how shaking it makes it warm. Realizing he might have overdone it, Taiki begins to feel embarrassed. Chinatsu looks at him curiously and jokes about what else he might have in his bag. She then laughs, thanking him for his kindness. Pleased to have made her laugh, Taiki suddenly sneezes as well. Chinatsu wraps him in her scarf and playfully tells him to dress warmer. Taiki can't help but feel like they're acting like a married couple, with Chinatsu fussing over him. A guard arrives to unlock the gym. Chinatsu stands up and tells Taiki not to catch a cold, calling him by name. Taiki, surprised, asks how she knows his name. She simply replies that his mom has a cool sense of humor. Confused, Taiki remembers that his mom had labeled his scarf with his name. Taiki is thrilled that she said his name, but also slightly embarrassed that his mom still treats him like a kid. During practice, as he grabs a damp towel, he's still buzzing with excitement from hearing her say his name. He's made it past step 2. Now he just needs to ask for her contact information. Later, as he leaves the locker room, he spots Chinatsu outside, talking seriously with her coach. Before he can process what's happening, Hina sneaks up on him again. Nervously, he brushes it off as nothing, but Hina, always sharp, remarks that Taiki is aiming too high. Taiki insists it's not a big deal, but Hina teases him, claiming she saw Chinatsu with another guy the other day. Panicked, Taiki asks for details, which only confirms his interest in Chinatsu. Hina laughs, admitting she was just teasing. Taiki, however, can't help but notice how serious Chinatsu looks in her conversation with her coach. That evening, after everyone has left, Taiki realizes he forgot his towel in the gym and returns to retrieve it. To his surprise, he finds Chinatsu still practicing. She recognizes him and once again calls him by name. Taiki asks if she's still training, and Chinatsu explains that she wasn't happy with her performance earlier. Concerned, Taiki advises her not to overdo it, but she admits she just wants to play a little longer. He realizes how much she loves basketball. Noticing Taiki staring at her, Chinatsu playfully tosses the basketball to him, challenging him to a one-on-one. Taiki accepts, but Chinatsu easily crushes him. He falls to the floor, gasping for breath, while Chinatsu, barely winded, offers him a break as if nothing had happened. She compliments compliments him on doing well, considering how tired he must be from badminton. Taiki explains that his mom used to play basketball and taught him a bit. Chinatsu, smiling, shares that she used to play a lot with her mom before joining the team. Taiki feels they have something in common and starts to believe it's fate. Chinatsu asks if he's ever considered playing basketball, but he shyly admits that team sports aren't for him because he's extremely competitive. He also enjoys the solitude of being alone on the badminton court. Whether he wins or loses, he's the only one responsible, which he likes. Chinatsu teases him, asking if he's a masochist, and says she feels the same way. That's why she trains so hard, so she doesn't disappoint her team. Feeling a bit embarrassed, Taiki asks if she trained the day after leaving her middle school team. About a year and a half ago, on a day off, Taiki had stopped by the gym to grab something and saw her training while crying. Later, he learned they had narrowly lost the nationals, and he understood how devastated she must have been. That moment inspired him to train harder, and he thinks it might have been the moment he started liking her. He notices Chinatsu is staring at him intently. Their conversation is interrupted by a guard who tells them it's time to leave. As they get up to go, a basketball rolls toward them, and as they both reach to catch it, their hands touch. Taiki notices her hand feels warmer than before. The next morning, as Taiki is getting ready for school, his mom hands him his lunch and shows him a magazine featuring Chinatsu. Taiki gets excited seeing her, and his mom asks if he knows her. Embarrassed, Taiki denies it. His mom explains that she used to be on the same basketball team as Chinatsu's mother. Taiki is shocked by the coincidence. His mom adds that Chinatsu's family is moving abroad. This news hits Taiki like a bucket of cold water. He suddenly realizes that this must have been the reason for the serious conversation Chinatsu had with her coach. Without hearing another word, he rushes to the gym. All he can think about is Chinatsu's dedication to her team. He knows how much she wants to succeed, and he can't bear the thought of her being forced to abandon her dreams. When he bursts into the gym, Chinatsu is there. Surprised by his flustered state, she asks what's wrong. Taiki, catching his breath, tells her to reach the nationals. He explains that since meeting her, he's learned to work hard every day, to keep pushing after failures, and to never give up on his goals. He begs her not to give up, even if she can't control her family's decision to move abroad. Chinatsu interrupts him, smiling, and tells him she's not going abroad. Taiki, stunned, goes quiet, realizing how embarrassed he is by his outburst. She explains that while her family is moving abroad, she will be staying behind with a family friend. Taiki, still flustered, says he's glad, and awkwardly tries to leave, but Chinatsu stops him. She admits she was worried about being lonely without her parents, but remembered their conversation about her middle school team. She realized that her dream of going to nationals and her determination to achieve it were stronger than her fears. She thanks Taiki sincerely, saying that his words gave her the confidence to stay and pursue her goal. Embarrassed, Taiki brushes it off, saying he didn't do much. Chinatsu playfully throws a basketball at him, asking for a rematch in their one-on-one game someday. Taiki agrees, but suggests they also play badminton. Chinatsu happily agrees. The next day, Taiki reflects on their conversation, wondering if he embarrassed himself. He's glad it's Sunday so he can avoid seeing her for a day and avoid risking another awkward moment. As he gets out of bed and heads to the kitchen, he thinks that for the first time he doesn't want to see Chinatsu. But to his surprise, Chinatsu is already there, greeting him casually. Stunned, he asks why she's at his house. His mom enters the kitchen, accompanied by Chinatsu's mother, and explains that this is what she wanted to tell him before. Chinatsu will be living with them starting in the spring. Chinatsu thanks them for letting her stay. Taiki shouts in shock. If you've reached this point in the video, don't forget to leave the word exquisito in the comments. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.